Okay, a little shuffle before we begin. Good?
Good.
Alright. Here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to lift off about 16 cards from the deck and place them right here. Let's see. It's about right. It's a little heavy. Okay, that's better. Try it again. About 16 cards right here. Okay, looks good. And the same, about 16 more right here. Okay, and oh, I forgot to mention the name of this trick. It's called Four Kings, and I think you'll see why. Good job. This trick is known as Four Kings. I don't know the official title, so I just call it Four Kings. It uses a regular deck of cards with four kings stacked on top. Okay. Now, to convince your audience that you're using a mixed up deck, you can do a riffle shuffle, making sure that after you riffle, these four cards stay on top. Or, more convincing would be a false overhand shuffle. If you can do that just a few times, and most audiences haven't seen this, so even if you do it a little sloppy, they'll be even more convinced that you've mixed up the deck and yet you've got your four kings still on top. Okay. So the first move is to ask your participant to take about 13 cards off the top and move them to the side here. Okay. Now, regardless of how many they move off to the side, it doesn't matter. You're going to lift up the pile and say that feels a little heavy, and you're going to move two back. And what you're doing is you're moving two of the kings to this pile, leaving two in this pile. Then you'll ask them to do the same thing. Move about 13 cards from here to right here. Okay. And again, you can check the weight, say, yeah, that feels pretty good. And one last time, you'll ask them to move 13 more over here. Okay. Now, when you reveal the kings, it's going to look as if there's a king on top of each of the four piles, but that's not the case. We've got two kings here, and then the other two we move to the top of this pile. So when we lift up the first two kings, we're going to move them. Okay, like so. Now there's one king left in each of these piles. We're going to lift up those two kings, and that gives us our trick known as Four Kings.